coalitions combine elements of social planning and locality development when people who share common concerns such as child well-being or substance abuse come together to address them. So the goal of many coalitions is to change community conditions, specific program policies and practices that protect against or reduce risk for these concerns, like for example drug abuse, no? So with the combination of these models, their variations may be implemented at local or state or regional and even national or perhaps international level. So we will partner. So community partnership, it is probably because of felt needs of the community. So you will unite as one to help each other. Okay. Now let's talk about lessons learned about community organizations. So in your simplified course pack, I provide you some summaries from lessons learned from various experiences with community organization practice. So these lessons are organized by broad topics related to the work of community organization and change. So these lessons come through experience within number one, understanding and affecting community context. So from the word understanding, this provides critical information about how a community functions and in turn how it needs its system to function both today and in the future. So I think almost all communities need to understand the community context. So that's perhaps the first thing that perhaps we need to know. Number two is community planning. Okay, so this involves the formulation of long-range visions, goals, policies, and strategies for achieving social, economic, and environmental sustainability within a community in order to guide future community development. So the program should not just be doled out. It should sustain the community, most especially if you have programs that will help the community. So the visions should be long range, the goals, the policies and strategies for achieving social and economic or environmental sustainability in the community. Number three, community action and mobilization. So it is a process through which action is stimulated by a community itself. So you have to make people move. So organizations on a participatory and sustained basis to improve the health, hygiene, and education levels these are important in the way we will plan and carry it out or evaluate a community individuals' participation, so that we will be able to enhance the overall standard of living in the community. So if the members will not move into action, then we will miss the point of our community organization and development. Number four, understanding and addressing oppositions and resistance. For sure, when there is community organization, there is resistance or opposition, because it is a natural response to changes if you want a change in the community. So it can be destructive, but resistance can also be a constructive and improved change outcomes. It can be addressed by number one, doing change management the first time. Engage senior leaders as active and visible sponsors of the change. Number two, expecting resistance. So you have to expect that there are those people who will not accept these changes. Number three, address resistance formally. it should be with perhaps with respect and honesty, and also with humility about the changes that we want to happen in our community. Number 4, identify the root causes of resistance. So you have to go deep into the causes of why people do not support a certain program or activities. Number 5, engage the right resistance managers. So you have to tap those people who can really able to help explain what are the programs or what are the goals of a particular programs. Okay. Number 5, intervention and maintenance effort. So the broad and specific means of intervention should match the ends and the context. No? Community organization efforts seldom are maintained without external resources, so there must be an intervention and maintenance efforts. So financial support usually has strings attached. So for example, accepting money from foundations or the government may restrict advocacy efforts, although often a necessity outside resources may come at the price of compromising the group's goal or available means of action. Number 6, promoting community change. So what does this mean? The central idea of community organization practice is service. So community organization must go beyond the process of bringing people together. The primary need is not for individuals to adjust to their world, but for environments to change so people can attain their goals. So community-based organizations can function as a catalyst for change. So we have to promote the change. Number 7 is influencing systems change. So the level of intervention should reflect the multiple levels that contribute to the problem. System change does not occur simply by reporting felt needs to appointed or elected officials. Thus, the great power of social movement is in communicating a different vision of the world. In addition, community organizations should seek changes within their power to manage community, and broader system change can be brought about through collaboration. So we have to, as I've said, have to have some partnerships, no, and encourage people to help each other, work together, collaborate. Number 8, achieving community level improvements. So what does this mean? Societal problems often reoccur and real change is rare. Thus, community documentation and evaluation must be done to help us see what is actually achieved by community initiatives, including evidence of intermediate outcomes. So for example, community and system change, and other indicators of success or failure, for example, community capacity over time and across issues. So these are the lessons that learned and shared to us in order that our community in the organizations and in our efforts to development will be able to apply these lessons. So in conclusion, to promote the participation of the greatest number in the life of a society, the creation of voluntary associations and institutions must be encouraged on local, national, and even international level, which relate to economic and social goals, to cultural and recreational activities, to sports, to various professionals, and to political affairs. No? So when we speak of community organization and community development, it will not happen without the participation of the greatest number of people. Okay, so that's all for my discussion, and if you have questions or clarifications, feel free to message me. And thank you for listening.